Hi, here is a little mobility flow, I guess we could call it, for the upper body and shoulders. So this workout, you might need a block or a book or a cushion to sit on just to find some release in the hips. So if you find when you sit up like this, your hips are feeling quite tense and tight, then just grab something and sit on them. I've got quite tight hips, so sitting on the block feels really comfortable for me. We're going for comfort here and ease, not tensing through the hips. We're just going to roll through one move to the next and try to think of deep breaths and just trying to find lovely sequential movement through the spine, thinking of the body and the spine as a nice chain that we want to get every single link mobilized. Okay. So we're going to start seated. So if you need a block or anything or a cushion, grab it and just come and sit down. And let's start with just some deep breaths. So sitting up nice and tall, shoulder blades down the back, relax through the hips. We're going to inhale and exhale. And when you inhale, try to think of expanding through the rib cage and exhaling, everything contracting back in. So thinking of rib cage coming open, nice lateral breath, breathing into the sides of your body, and exhale. So a couple more. Inhale and exhale. And next inhale, I want to float one arm up, and then exhale, float it back down. Hand can go to the floor if you can reach. Inhale up and exhale down. Just going to continue alternating, and I want to really think about the shoulder blade on the back and how it will rotate as you bring the arm up, because you still want the shoulders, the fronts of the shoulders to stay down. So rather than bringing the shoulders up towards the ears, so really focusing on that's what's leading the movement, is your shoulder blade rotating on your back rather than the shoulder, top of the shoulder lifting up. And then let's do both arms. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, down, keeping the ribs down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Let's go for one more like that. Relaxing through the hips. If you feel yourself tensing at all, you can have your feet up like this instead of this long frog position. Inhale and exhale down. Okay, I want you to bring both arms out in front of you. I want you to think of, rather than pulling forwards with the shoulders, I want you to draw the shoulder blades down the back so they're nice and snug, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to rotate one arm round, down and back to the front, and then alternate. So big circle with the arm. I can feel it going. I'm going to see lots of funny facial expressions from me today, because mobility stuff is always, you'll see a lot of funny facial expressions from me today, because mobility stuff really gets into that sort of crunchy area of our body that we need to give a little bit more love. So just alternating backwards here, arm circles. Again, thinking about the shoulder blades staying on the back, and rather than bringing the arms forward and moving the upper body. So we want just the arm moving, body nice and still. Let's go for one more each side. Reaching back and breathing. Good. And just bring the arms down. We're going to come onto all fours. So remove the block if you've been using it. We're going to come to a nice neutral spine. So just defy gravity a little bit here and push the floor away. Nice neutral through the spine, ribs slightly pulling in. On your inhale, to prepare, and exhale, tuck the tailbone under, rippling through the spine, one vertebra at a time, all the way up to the neck. Tuck the chin slightly. Inhale, find expanse, and exhale, head and pelvis go away from each other, finding length in your extension. Inhaling to prepare. Exhale, finding that flow, tucking the tailbone under, rippling through the spine. Exhale, finding length. Try not to sink down into the shoulders too much. Defy gravity. Inhale. Exhale, coming through. And back again. And really trying to concentrate on that upper spine. It's really easy to miss out loads of vertebrae by not thinking one vertebra at a time. And let's go for one more. Tucking the tailbone under. Rippling through. And coming back to center. I'm going to stay where we are. We're just going to do a thread the needle, but we're going to firstly take your right hand, bring it towards the back. Bring it to the back of the head. So still looking down. You're going to inhale. Exhale, I want you to take that elbow underneath, the right elbow underneath the left elbow as you twist. And then inhale to open. Exhale, twist. Inhale, open. So find a bit of feedback. So push back into the hand slightly, just to give yourself a little reminder not to let the neck drop. Let's go for one more like this. Twisting from the head, the neck, the shoulder, good. And coming back up. We're going to remove the hand and bring it to the mat, palm facing up. We're going to inhale, we're going to do that same movement. We're going to take the hand all the way underneath, keeping the palm off the ground and reaching. So we inhale to prepare. Exhale, head rotates, neck rotates, upper back, coming down. Left arm will bend as you reach. And then coming back through. Let's do two more. Coming up, head, shoulders, reaching through. Maybe your hips will flex back to give you space. Coming back. Let's go for one more. Reaching, head, shoulders, neck, we reach and rotate back through. We're just going to sit back onto the heels for a second, roll the wrists, give them a little bit of a break, and we're going to do that on the other side. So the first move is just that rotation with a hand behind the head. If that's enough for you today, stay there. You don't need to do the full motion if your body's not feeling it today. So get in a nice neutral position, defy gravity a little bit. Take the left hand, place it behind the head. Going to inhale to prepare. Exhale, head, shoulders, neck. We twist and we rotate, re-stacking through that spine. Let's go again. Twisting down and rotating back up. My right arm is bending. The palm that's on the ground, that arm will bend to allow just for a little bit more space in that rotation. Let's go one more like this, and then we're going to add on with that reach through. So take that palm down onto the mat, palms facing up. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, this head, shoulders, neck, upper back, reach, and then restack. Think of sequential movement. Let's go for two more. I know there's a bit of work on the hands. Last time we're going to be on our wrists for a little while. And then just push back into a child's pose. Nice active arms stretching forwards, head to the mat and just resting here. Breathing. And just coming up and onto your front, lowering down. So we can do hands wider than shoulder distance, just wide enough so your shoulder blades feel nice and loose and broad along the back, and head is going to be on the ground. We're going to do a little bit of extension here. So we're going to try and think of that sequential movement again, and we're going to draw a line of the nose on the mat, lengthen through the top of the head as your neck comes up, your chest comes up, keeping your lower back still and rolling back down. If you want a little more, we can go into the full extension here, but I want you to really think about that lower back and keeping that sequential movement going. So you're going to inhale to prepare. Exhale, carve a line with the nose first. Find that length. And when you can't go any more without getting into the back, I'm going to push through the hands, coming up, pushing the pelvis forwards. And then we're going to slowly lower down, one vertebra at a time. We'll do one more like that. Inhale. And if this is too much, I want you to stay with that first movement. Practicing that sequential movement is getting into your back. I want you to stop there. And lowering down with control. Nice. And just bring the hands by your side and stretch back into a child's pose. Relaxing there for a second. So I want you to come up onto all fours, and I want you to just swing round into a seated position. So feet are in front, hands. I'm going to do hands facing whichever direction feels comfortable for you. I'm going to put my hands facing backwards, or you can do sideways or backwards, whichever feels good. So you think chest up. We're going to do that same sinking down into the chest and bringing it forward that we did. So this here might be enough for you. If you want a bit more, we're going to inhale, exhale, push the hips up, coming up into a reverse table and coming back down. So exhaling up, maybe your head drops if that's okay for your neck, and coming down. So we lift, strong through the shoulders, feel that stretch, and coming down. Let's go for two more. Up we go. Good. And down. Good. This time we're going to add a little extra with a reach across as you lift the hips up. So we're going to lift the hips up, opposite arm will reach as a little side reach, and then come down. Okay, so here we go. Inhale, exhale, up, lift, and reach over. And bring the arm down. We're going to alternate. Up, reaching, and coming back down. So we're adding on, we've got that rotation we were doing at the beginning, with those arm circles essentially, but adding in a little bit more lateral flexion by coming to the side, a little bit more rotation of the spine, down. And you could do this seated as well, you don't have to come up if that's too much. Down. Let's do one more. Reach, 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 reach. And come down onto your bum with control. Good, okay. Just going to come back onto nice seated position towards you. I'm going to grab my block and sit on it. Nice and gracefully. And feet ahead, feet in front. Or feet crossed, whatever feels comfortable. I'm going to cross my legs. We're just going to, actually no, we'll have our feet long in front. We're going to sit up nice and tall, and I want you to think of that sequential movement through the spine. So I'm actually going to show you from this side. Think sequential movement from the spine, from sitting up tall. We're going to come, nod the chin, chest, let everything roll forward, and then restack as you come back up. So this should feel really nice, thinking one vertebra at a time, keeping the pelvis nice and still. Good. This is where the block comes in handy because my hips are really tight usually. But having the block there really helps me maintain that nice alignment with my spine. Let's go for one more. Really reach, 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 reach through. And then rolling up. Core is just supporting you in this movement. And I'm going to face you once more. So I'm just spinning my block round so I don't fall over. I'm going to bring hands hands on either side, hands on either side. I'm going to take my right hand on my right leg, right hand on my left leg, left hand on my right hand. This time I am going to come off the block, just because I can actually reach my hands this way. For some reason, couldn't reach my hands, too far away. So you're going to hold and think nice and tall first, and then that cat-cow position, you're going to tuck the chin. The same thing, the same sequential movement we just did. We're going to go roll the spine, pull on the arms, pushing back from the side. I'm just pulling back and then coming back up to seated. So we're going to roll forwards, use the hands, pull back, shoulder blades gliding down the back and coming up. Let's go for one more, rolling back, pull, 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 and coming back up and switching hands. Right hand, no, that's it, right hand. Oh yeah, switching whichever hand was on top. And you're gonna inhale. And for a minute I was like, how do I then do it with my other hand? But it was the other hand on top. And then rolling through, putting through the spine, feeling that nice stretch. Coming up, nice and tall. We'll do one more. Just reaching forwards. Finding length, coming up tall, bring the hands to your knees. We'll just do one full body stretch. So really reaching all the way up, thinking about the shoulders, thinking about nice and comfortable in the hips, sitting on that cushion if you need to. And exploding down. And relax. Hopefully that helped and got your shoulders feeling a little bit more mobilized, especially at computers all day or like using our phones and hunched over. So enjoy.